Run through the jungle. Yeah, run through the jungle. That was so bad. I'm sorry. I tried. These bongos aren't really that great. I think it's more for display.
Yeah, it's a very decorative looking bongo. Got an elephant on there. Pretty cool.
Very nice. But welcome, Disney fans.
Yeah, welcome back to the DISNEYCAST.
Yeah, we talk about everything Disney. I am Dial, joined with my girlfriend and my co-host and the explorer to my skipper, Shay.
Don't you mean pants to your Skippy?
That did not catch on.
Yeah, that was a weird nickname thing they were doing in this movie.
What's up, Pants?
Get to that.
How you doing, Pants?
It was really weird. Not a fan of that.
Yep. But I'll tell you what we are fans of. I think we are. We're going to be talking about Jungle Cruise.
Ooh, Jungle Cruise.
It came out this past weekend. Mm-hmm. We went and saw it. So yeah, let's get into this. We're going to let you know up front, this is a spoiler-filled discussion. So if you guys haven't seen Jungle Cruise, I would say go watch it first and then come back and listen. Or if you just don't care about spoilers, go ahead and watch. But yeah, we're going to be talking about every detail. So you have been warned. You've never been to Disney World, as we established.
I have not been to Disney World.
Such a shame. But huh?
I didn't get to go on any of those class trips. They were all for band, and I wasn't in band.
It's about your family hates you? Like, did they
we
not want to...
We used to go to Cedar Point a lot. We had season tickets at Cedar Point when I was little, but we never went, like, to Florida. So...
Bad parenting, I call that, man.
You know my mom listens to this podcast.
Well, you're hearing this loud and clear. Why did you take your children to Disney World?
Disney's expensive.
Sure is, and it's just getting more and more expensive by the day.
You used to go to Cedar Point. You drive there in a couple hours. You don't have to go on a plane or just, drive forever to Florida with 3 children in the car.
Yeah, you gotta literally just save up.
Yeah, my siblings and I would be, wringing each other's necks by the time we got to Pennsylvania when we used to go there as kids. Like, can you imagine if we were driving to Florida?
Yeah, I hate road trips as it is, so not a fan of that. I had to drive to Augusta, Georgia for a family reunion. It was one of the most painful experiences I ever had.
Driving down the
Georgia. Especially because, there was a bunch of people that we had to fit into a van. It's every row is oh, I feel so claustrophobic. But yeah, not a fan of road trips. But anyway.
One of our windows broke on a road trip once. We were coming back from Pennsylvania.
Oh,
no. The window was getting stuck, and we were trying to help it up. The window shatters, and then we have to drive 10 more hours back to Michigan with no window going down the turnpike, the expressway, and it's just it was awful.
Did it rain?
No, it did not. It was just incredibly loud, and it was the winter, so it was cold. We tried to tape plastic over it, but it was just not a great situation.
Don't think so. Wait, we got to a tirade. So
road trips.
Yeah, so road trips, they suck. But
do you think they're better than a Jungle Cruise? Probably not. Even in a really crappy boat?
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. But, I should close the window.
I was trying to segue back into the movie.
Yeah,
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I'm going to close the window.
Yeah, someone started weed whacking out there.
I don't know why I didn't do that from the beginning. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, getting to the point. So, I went to Disney World, of course. Went to all four parks. And then one of the rides I remember going on is Jungle Cruise, and it's a fine ride, It's just you get a bunch of people on a boat and they're just slowly sailing, and the person riding the boat is talking to the people and narrating what's going on as they're going through the pretend jungle, and then there's the cheesy animatronics.
Wait, they're not in the real jungle at Disney World?
Oh, did I ruin the magic?
Oh, no. The magic is ruined forever.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry that you were convinced that those cheesy animatronics were real.
They're not real? Oh, man.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. You can't reanimate dinosaurs and Santa Claus is fake. Sorry. Jurassic Park's a lie. Anyway, but yeah, so it was a nice ride. There was cheesy animatronics, and there's some native people there. And it's like, I like how, as the ride goes on, weird stuff goes on in the jungle with the animals and the other people. They have a display, and then the person driving the boat keeps doing a bunch of dad jokes and puns on the way,
like Dwayne Johnson does during this whole movie.
Yep, they had to just
so
put
many
that in
of
there.
them. I mean, I'm just glad to know that that's true to the ride.
It's very true to the ride, and all the callbacks they do. I'm surprised with all the callbacks in there, but yeah, it's like the eighth one of the world, the backside of the water thing. I can't believe they had that in the movie. But so when it comes to me personally, I think it's a great idea for Disney to create movies based off of their parks. Some people may think that's lazy, but I think that's kind of creative, because with me getting sick of them remaking their classics.
Yeah, at least they're doing a new type of movie and not just, oh, here's something we had as an animated movie 20 years ago, but now we have realistic 3D CGI.
Yeah.
Wow, talking about you, Lion King.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, it's better than them just doing remakes of all their stuff,
right.
I think.
And, it started out as a really good success for them, because, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean became one of the biggest franchises ever, so that was good for them.
That one worked out well.
Yeah. But then the other times they tried it, like the Haunted Mansion and the Country Bears and Tomorrowland. I didn't hate Tomorrowland. It was okay. But there were other times they tried to do movies based off of their parks, and it wasn't as successful. Yeah, it's like, it sucks, man. Because I remember going to Disney World and all these parks and rides, and it's like, why can't? It's so easy to do. Why are they having a hard time? So a Jungle Cruise, this was the last thing I thought they were going to try and do. Jungle Cruise, it's like such a mediocre ride. I mean, it's not bad, but it's like, that's what you want to base.
You're calling out Disney?
I'm sorry.
That's one of the last attractions Walt himself oversaw.
Well, I commend you, Walt, for their success, but I'm sorry, it is 2021, and you need to update some things.
I mean, that'll be hard for him to do from the grave, but.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Walt. We need you back badly. But Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite films, but that the Stitch show ride they had there was one of the worst rides I've ever been on. So sorry, I gotta call things out. You gotta update your stuff, and good thing that's not there anymore, because that was not. But anyway, Jungle Cruise. I didn't expect for them to do a movie out of this, but I was like, okay, let's see what they do.
Let's see how it is.
Yeah, and
it was better than I expected it to be.
Very true. Having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt in this movie. That's also, I didn't expect for that to happen.
Interesting dynamic between them.
Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, overall, I had a good time with this movie. No,
it's kind of cheesy in a lot of parts, and a lot of things happening that okay, sure, that's fine, I guess.
It's fine. It's what I'm expecting. Because the ride's cheesy, so I'm expecting some cheesiness from this.
Yeah.
Was this the best Disney park ride? No, I still think Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl is the best one. Yeah. But I would say this is probably a good the second best, I would say. I had a really good time with it. I didn't have a lot of expectations with this. I was just, expecting a fun adventure film.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Give me some Indiana Jones vibes with some of the stunts they were pulling and the swinging on the vines and the...
Oh, yeah. It's Indiana Jones. It's the Mummy.
Yeah.
It's they're mixing a whole bunch of genres and inspirations in this movie. And for the most part, I thought they pulled it off well. There was a couple of things they tried to shoehorn in here, which I wasn't loving as much. We'll get to later. But, for the most part, didn't expect this to be as good as it was. But yeah, one of the best parts of this film, in my opinion, is the chemistry between The Rock and Emily Blunt. I thought they worked off each other really, really well. I thought they were both really interesting characters on their own. Also, as we were talking about
I definitely liked Emily Blunt's character a lot.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely reminded me of Evie from The Mummy. And also, she has a brother in this film, too, that reminds me of Jonathan from The Mummy as well. You see, there's a lot of mummy-isms that I found in this movie. But for the most part, yeah, I really like her. She's like the explorer and stuff like that. She's trying to...
Adventurous, dragging along her reluctant brother to the Amazon.
Yep. And then her whole goal is to find this magical tree that can cure all illness.
The petals of the moon, just one.
Yeah.
Can cure any ailment. So she wants to use it to advance modern medicine, and she isn't being taken seriously at the beginning of the film. In fact, her brother has to give the speech to the Research Society to try and find this arrowhead that's the key to finding where this magic tree is.
Right. So she ends up having to,
sneak in and steal it.
Yep. This whole set piece sets of the building and stuff like that. And her trying.
It's like, how does no one notice her doing this?
Right. She's disguising herself. She's just sneaking into the library.
She's dressed up as an explorer now. No one will ever notice she's a woman.
Why does she need to dress into another outfit?
It seems like that would make it more obvious that you were sneaking around too. If you were just dressed up in the explorer outfit.
Yeah, that was
in the archives for some reason.
Yeah, that was
a little
weird.
And they have this whole thing of her jumping from ladder to ladder trying to escape, and then it was just a little bit okay, sure.
Yep, it's that swashbuckling, craziness.
And then she's hanging out the window.
Yep, and then
in London, and no one's really like, oh my god.
Oh, there's a lady hanging.
Lady out the window, fine.
And it just so happens there's a bus that comes right under her, and
so
she's able to jump off.
Land on the bus and not the street.
Yeah. It was pretty silly, but that's what I was expecting.
It was definitely silly, but
for sure. Speaking of silly, the main villain of this movie, Prince Joachim, played by Jesse Plemons. Plemons. Jesse Plemons, I'm sorry. Yep. He was really over the top in this movie. Oh my goodness. I had a good time with him though. I thought he was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Over the top, just over the top Prince.
Yeah. So they had it set during World War I.
Right.
And they're like, oh, if we find the petal, it'll help us win the war. And then he's on the other side also trying to find it so that he can be on the winning side of the war. And he starts chasing down Emily Blunt's character because she steals the arrowhead that he needs to find it, follows her to Brazil, tries to blow her up with a torpedo.
Oh, hold on. Let's not
have a submarine in the Amazon.
A submarine in the Amazon. It's like, what? I saw that in the trailer, and I was like, there's a submarine in the Amazon.
I mean, fine, I guess.
Hey.
It's whatever.
You're gonna get wacky? Let's get wacky.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going all in, let's go all in.
Why not? And then, Dwayne Johnson as Skipper Frank. I thought he was really good, too.
I have some questions about things that were revealed later, but we'll get to that.
So do I. We'll
he has this really shitty boat in the beginning.
Yes, that he crafted himself. Apart. Yep.
Well, we don't know that yet, do we? We find that out later about him building the boat, but he has this really...
No, I would assume because... Yeah, I would assume he made it himself because there's the other nicer boats that his boss owns, played by Paul Giamatti. And then, his is, a piece of crap, and I'm like, oh, okay.
And it's like, of all the riverboat cruises, this is certainly the cheapest.
For sure. I love that whole sequence of them just, it's literally straight out of the ride.
Setting up the ride and, shooting stuff so that, things fall a certain way. And,
right, and having, actual, animatronics and people pretend to be native people shooting at them and stuff like that. And puns so galore. Puns. Oh, I loved it, even though it was a bit too much. They were doing it all throughout the movie, but I was this is exactly how
they knew they were overdoing it, too, because they had all the actors, pointing out that it was too much.
Yeah, it was like, would you stop with the puns? It's like, nope, I
can't
help myself.
I'll feed you to the piranhas. You're going to listen. You're going to shut up.
Oh, he was so funny in this movie. I liked him. He's kind of a con artist himself because he keeps tricking everyone throughout the movie. It's gotten to
an ongoing
thing. It's gotten to a point where it's like, okay, does he really need to prank these guys right now? It's like, Lily getting annoyed every time, and then it gets to a point where she doesn't trust him, and it's like, oh boy. But And there was even sometimes we'll get to some of the other pranks later, but there was a couple of them where I was like, how did he plan all that out? You know, the pranks.
How did that get coordinated?
How did it coordinate?
Yeah.
There's just a couple of things where I was just like, that seems very convenient, but you know, it's fine.
Suspend your disbelief.
Suspend
and
the
let it
disbelief.
happen.
Why not? And also, he has a pet jaguar.
Proxima.
Yeah.
I like Proxima.
Yeah, really adorable. Reminded me of Raja from Aladdin, stuff like that. Very cute. I will say, the CGI on him could have been a little better.
Yeah, very obviously a fake leopard.
Very fake jaguar. I mean, it's not horrible CGI.
Or, yeah, jaguar. Jaguar and leopards are pretty close to being related, though.
Right.
So.
And the jaguars, like, their spots, it looks like an eye more,
Yeah,
and then
jaguar. Yeah.
the cheetahs like
Proxima.
actually have dots on there. Yeah, Proxima was really cool. And then talk about more about Lily's brother,
McGregor.
yeah. He was fine. He was fine. There was a couple of parts where, you know, he was a bit annoying.
Yeah.
He was like, he's very high maintenance and stuff like that.
Trying to bring like 47 suitcases onto this tiny little shitty boat.
And I'm like, really? Like, why? How'd you get all that stuff here?
Why would you bring that all with you when you know you're gonna be on a boat on the Amazon? Like, you need your golf clubs? Are you sure?
For what reason?
How many outfits do you need for the Amazon?
I don't think you need a whole
It's
bunch
like,
of...
oh, I need a dinner jacket. Like, we're gonna be on a boat with 2 people. Like, do you need your dinner jacket? Really?
It's like 80 or 90 degrees out there, and it's like he's
when
wearing
we're
all
in
these
that,
layers.
South America, the
100
rainforest.
degrees, and he's wearing all
Humid
these
as hell.
layers, and of course he overheats and stuff. It's like...
He's like, there's one part where Lily asks him, like, oh, isn't that a little warm? Isn't that a little warm for the inside? He's like, no, I'll be fine. And they show him laying on the ground, like, oh.
But yeah.
Like, my eyeballs are sweating.
My eyeballs are sweating.
That's what you get, McGregor. Anyway.
He does warm up more as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
Apparently...
He has a nice right hook, apparently.
Oh yeah, I did not expect
Runs
that.
in the hook.
I was expecting him when he hit Frank that, you know, he was like, ow, that hurts.
Yeah, like...
But
yeah.
he actually, you know, packs a good punch, so that was cool. It doesn't make him a complete wimp. Apparently people were making a big deal that, like, he's another openly gay character in a Disney movie. They didn't really play to that too much. There's, like, one conversation that he has with Frank about it, but, like, they don't really play on it. I'm sure other countries and nations are probably not liking it that much, because every time there's, like, LGBT representation in a Disney film, people freak out. Just like in Beauty and the Beast when LeFou was openly gay, and it's like they didn't really do that much with it, but people were angry about that.
Barely.
Yeah.
Like, representation is important.
Yes, like, we gotta progress, guys. Like, I know there's probably some controversy with other countries that, you know, aren't the same as the U.S., so they probably look at it a different way, which is... I'm not gonna get into politics or whatever, but it's like, you know, I thought it was fine. It's cool. You know, it's nice to have some representation here and there. But yeah, I thought he was fine. Okay, so the other villain in this movie, what's it? Aguirre? Yeah.
A conquistador.
A conquistador.
Yeah, there's this whole legend they talk about in the beginning of Aguirre and him getting trapped in the forest because he wanted to steal the arrowhead from one of the native tribes and take it to find the tree with the petals of the moon, and then he gets trapped there, and they're like, he can never leave the river. So there's this whole thing about it. And then throughout the movie, he actually gets released from this cave that he's in so that he can go and try and track down Lily and the arrowhead. And,
thanks to Prince Joaquin. Like, you know, they
he
form an
releases him
alliance.
to try and... Yeah, but he tries to backstab him later.
Yeah, but I saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, that was really obvious. There were a lot of things you're like, Yeah.
There it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the one part of the movie where I felt like that's a little too much, like with the whole curse
Yeah.
and then having supernatural powers. This is stuff straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
It's
because they had the other conquistadors. I don't even know if they said their names. Conquistadores. I don't think they even say them, but
I don't remember either.
Melkor? Is that one?
I think so. And then
Sancho. Okay, Melkor and Sancho were the other two, but they had them like one dude was made out of snakes. I think that was Aguirre, and there was one who was made out of bees, and one who was made out of like tree roots. And it was it was very
made out of mud.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was like
when those came back, but
right, like I don't really need this in a Jungle Cruise movie.
Yeah,
like, it was already over the top with the prince in a submarine in the Amazon. Yeah. Like we didn't need this.
Taking it a little far.
Cursed people in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trying too hard to be pirates. It doesn't have to be pirates. Let it be its own thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But and then that also connects to Frank because apparently.
He's one of the cursed conquistadors.
Yep. So that was
we find out later.
Yeah.
I saw that I didn't see it right away, but I did figure it out before they said it in the movie.
Right before he died.
Like when he was getting stabbed and he pulled in and I'm like, oh, he's one of them too. He knows him. Like I noticed that they recognized each other, and then as he was falling, I'm like, he's gonna come back because he's one of the conquistadors.
Yeah.
That's why he knows the river so well. And it turns out he was the cartographer that made all the maps of the river, one of which Lily and McGregor had from their father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I got it, before they revealed it in the movie, but not too far in advance. So that was one thing, okay. I kept that under wraps pretty well.
I wasn't really putting pieces together until he got stabbed and stuff like that.
He pulled it deeper
and
okay.
Then he fell all the way down there. I was like,
into the river.
It's like they're not gonna
kill. Sure, he was dead, but I'm like,
they're not gonna kill the Rock.
He knew. Yeah.
But yeah, that made it a little too complicated for me. That didn't need to be there. You know, it's like you already have the stuff with the tree and stuff like that.
But that brought up a couple more questions for me, because if he is 400 years old, one of these conquistadores that came from Spain 400 years ago, why is his boat so shitty if he has all the time in the world to work on it? How did he not just accumulate more money over 400 years if he built the entire town he was living in? He shouldn't be indebted to whatever his name was at the beginning. Nilo.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been indebted to Nilo. They have this whole thing in the beginning
Frank owes me money. The parrot
keeps saying it over and over again. Why would he? Because he should be the richest person in town if he built the whole town and he's over 400 years old.
Yeah.
So that just brought up some questions for me.
You're right.
Once they revealed that he was one of the cursed conquistadors.
Right.
So
yeah, that was a bit much. But it was it's okay, I guess.
It's just for humor. That's why it's that way. But it doesn't
Is it for
really
humor?
make sense.
Is it for humor?
Well, they have the whole sequence of him in the shitty boat giving the cheapest tour of the Amazon.
Which, that was cool. But then, it gets really, really dark with the, I've been here for all these years.
I can never leave the river, even though
I can never die.
I want to die. I'm going to do it when I get the pedal.
Right, so that's why he's after the pedal, because if he gets one, then he'll
finally be at peace.
And then he can die, you know. So, that's the whole thing. And so, I did like their overall, journey there. I thought them encountering a whole bunch of stuff in the jungle, that was cool. And of course they run into the native people as well, which is also from the ride. I thought they were pretty good. The main female chief, pretty solid as well.
I liked her.
And apparently they were doing another prank.
Yeah, that whole bit at the end when they are back in England and the brother is giving a speech to the society members, and he's saying all these things about the cursed dolphins and a bunch of stuff, and then it's and a female chief, and then they're all up in arms female. Women can't possibly be in charge.
Impossible.
In 1918. Preposterous.
No way. But that was funny.
Yeah.
Those red dolphins. Yeah,
that's an actual thing in the Amazon.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
They're probably not cursed souls.
Yeah, when you look into their eyes, give you nightmares. I'm like, wait, what?
That's a little weird.
It's a little so strange.
Is that just Frank being Frank?
Probably. Like, can you believe anything Frank says? Not really.
Yeah, but like that's an actual kind of dolphin that I can't remember what the species name is that lives in the Amazon. They do have pink dolphins there.
Alright, well, it's something to do every
They live
day.
in like brackish water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then there's like some Legend of the Hidden Temple stuff where it's like when they get to the actual place where it is, they have to go underwater and there's like
swim
these
under and pull a lever and then
levers.
it drains like this one area of the river so they can pass to the tree.
Yeah.
Which is dead.
Yeah. Yup. And then when they get in there, it's like they have to have the moon shining perfectly on the tree.
Yeah, and the princes follow them there too.
Yeah,
the
the
prince
prince
captured the brother.
Yep. And then he snitches, and I'm like, oh, brother.
Well, I don't want them to kill a bunch of people.
That's true. That is true.
Also, you need some conflict. Of course, the baddie has to show up when they're getting the thing.
There's already so many.
Smart him. It's very Indiana Jones.
Yes, there's already a bunch of conflict. Yeah, you got the prince there. You got these cursed conquistadors, like all this other stuff. It's a lot of tension. But and then also, as I said, like they have to have the moon shining perfectly on the tree, so the petals.
And they had
actually
to break
sprout.
open the arrowhead to find this gem so that they could get the tree to bloom.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like a heart.
It's a heart. And it says you have to mend the broken heart, but you can't mend it till you break it. Oh, there's a gem in here. Stick that on the wall.
I'll be honest, I didn't think of that. I was like, oh,
okay,
yeah, they gotta break it up.
Whatever.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. And the tree comes back up, and there's this whole thing where Emily, like, shoots Frank, and so the one dude thinks he's dead, but he's not, and then they beat him all up.
Yep. And then the conquistadors eventually find them.
They're trying to get the one petal that was picked before the moon went away.
Right. And then there's this whole sequence of Frank driving the boat to crash into a wall that apparently if they get sticked on the wall, the conquistadors and Frank, that they turn to stone and they attach to
because
the
the river
wall.
couldn't take them back.
Right.
There was no way for the water to get to them.
So yeah.
So they turned to stone. But
he
then
ended up sacrificing himself. And I was like, okay, it's another thing when we talked about in Raya and the Last Dragon when they turned to stone. It's like, can we have some sacrifice? Just a little bit of sacrifice.
Undo it.
Right. I thought they were actually going to
just let him be
stoned.
No, there's no way.
No.
You know there's no way. Yeah, so Lily puts the one petal on his lips and she thinks it hasn't worked and she walks away, but then a sound and he turns back into a man.
Yay.
They won't let him stay dead.
Oh yeah, because they fall in love.
Real. Yeah, because they fell in love, even though you can't trust a thing Frank says.
No. Well, I guess they had some, they grow an attachment to each other, have a conversation. Yeah. He helps her.
They haven't known each other very long, though.
No.
In true Disney fashion, it's been like a week.
Yep, and then fall in love.
Yeah, and then they go back to London together. Oh, wait, but before they go back, just a peak of moonlight goes onto the tree and one more petal grows so she can take it back to England.
Yep.
Wow.
So now they're able to cure illness with that. Don't you need more than that, though?
Like, one petal can cure anything. So what did they do with the wand, then?
I don't know.
What are they gonna do with
They're probably going to try and
England?
replicate it, and they won't be able to. I mean, I don't know. Disney logic, they might be able to if they do a Jungle Cruise 2. Maybe they'll expand that. Do you want to see a Jungle Cruise 2? No.
I'm good with this one.
I feel like they are trying to make this into the next
I mean, it was
franchise.
Better than I expected, but, like, not good enough to do, like, a whole bunch of movies like Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyone play that Pirates of the Caribbean game they used to have?
Wait, which one?
The online one.
Oh, yeah, right.
I used to be very into that, but I wouldn't pay the extra money to get past, like, level 5.
But yeah, so, I also like that Frank helped Lily get over her fear of swimming as well. That was nice. So I guess that kind of helped with the connection between each other. And the overall boat. I like the boat, even though it's an old piece of crap, and it's able to maneuver against a submarine. It's dodging torpedoes and missiles, and it's able to
destroying the town.
Yeah.
going through a building, so the torpedo hits that instead, and then it falls on all the boats the other guy has, the Nilo has. Okay, sure, this is some
it's
bullshit, but
it's
whatever.
Nut stuff. It's like, they gotta stay accurate. It's just a regular boat. We can't make it too modern because it'll be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you having a face off against the submarine in the Amazon, and that's where it's just like, okay.
Okay, this is a little wacky.
Yep. But that's fine.
I had a good time
Good
watching
time
it.
with it. Yeah.
Do I need to see it again? Probably not.
I'll probably watch it again when it's
Okay.
on. When it's on, free on Disney Plus.
But not pay for it again.
Not pay for it again. But yeah, I'm definitely glad I saw it, and there's
better than I expected.
Yeah, there's effort put into this. Enjoyed it. Liked The Rock. I liked Emily Blunt. Pretty much liked all the characters in this movie. I wish they didn't have the cursed conquistadors in there. That's the one thing that felt really out of place in this movie. Like, it felt like it's from a different film, Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was very Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I wish they just, kept it simple with them just going on a journey. And yeah, you can keep the submarine because if you want some set pieces in there. But, we didn't need all this supernatural stuff in here.
Well, it had all that stuff about the curses. They were very big on the curses.
I know, but
if you believe in the magic or whatever, you have to believe in the curses too.
But we don't need a curse. We don't need it.
Well, then how would they have justified, all of Frank's shit?
I mean, they could
just be a regular riverboat guy.
Yeah, I would have been
Would
fine
have been
with that.
Compelling?
I mean, I felt like it was a bit forced with them making them into this man at a time that's lived for years. I just felt that was a little too much. I was with the.
So why do you have an American accent? He's been in Brazil,
right, dude. I'm sorry.
He's from Spain.
I'm sorry. They probably don't want us to acknowledge his race, but he is half black, half Samoan. There is no way he's a conquistador.
A Spaniard.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The Moors are from Africa, and then they settled in Spain, and they were in control of Spain for 800 years, so he could have African heritage and be from Spain. That's not too far out, but they had him.
Had him with a beard and long hair.
American accent.
It just.
And he's been in Brazil, where they speak Portuguese.
Right.
For 400 years.
Right. It just.
Shouldn't he at least have a Spanish accent since he's from Spain?
Right.
Not an American accent.
No, The Rock's never done an
whatever.
accent in a movie, I don't think. Because, it's The Rock. But it's they want to, push
But yeah,
him.
that felt a little out of place. It was American accent in Brazil in 1918, but he's a Spaniard who's 400.
Right.
He's just
so I would have bought it
inconsistent.
More. Right.
It's whatever.
I definitely would have bought it more if he was just a regular skipper, I mean, yes, you would be questioning how is he able to maneuver so well in this piece of crap boat, but it's I would have been able to suspend my disbelief for it because it's already silly. He's doing puns and he's
already silly.
So it's I was with the Disney magic at that point, So that's fine. Just like I said, just unnecessarily, unnecessarily complicated, Another thing from a filmmaking standpoint that I will critique is I felt like the pacing and the editing was a little too. It's a little jumbled in places. I felt like the movie was just going bam, 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 bam.
Very fast paced.
Very fast paced, and there was a couple of parts where the editing was cutting a little too quickly. At least in the second half of the movie, it starts to slow down more. But in the first half, I felt
it's very go, go, go.
Yeah, there were some shots that I
very
don't think last
scene,
longer than 5 seconds.
Explosion.
Cut and then they cut and then they cut and then they cut. It's we're in action sequence. Oh, we're talking. No action sequence. Oh, we're talking. No action sequences. I'm okay, can we slow down just a little bit?
Nope.
I mean, this movie's already 2 hours long, so it's you could,
It's very fast-paced, though. It doesn't feel like it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
You don't, feel the length of it.
Right. So that's one thing that I appreciate.
So it does, captivate you, because you kind of, if you let yourself just be okay, this is a fun, silly action movie.
Yeah.
Then you kind of can just get into it, and it doesn't feel like it's that long, but...
You're right.
Yeah. You kind of have to be okay, this is some wacky bullshit that's going on, but I'm just going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Another nitty pick, it's not really a huge, criticism, but it's something that I noticed. The score I felt was, the score was really good, but I felt like the sound mixing was a little too loud. Like there was a few
It was
scenes
very
where it was just like bum 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 bum.
We're
It's an
also in the
adventure
back row,
movie.
so like you could feel the chairs shaking.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So I don't know if it's like based on
Yeah.
what theater we were in and like how the the surround sound was it, but
You
how the
could
surround
feel
sound
it.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just felt like the score was just so bombastic in places where it's like, oh, they could have turned it down just a little bit. It's like it's in your face, be like, this is adventure music and this is adventure. I'm like, okay. Calm down
We
a little
get it.
bit.
We're adventuring.
Though I love the composer, James Newton Howard. He's a really good composer, so I thought the music was really great. I just wish the sound mixing, wasn't as as abrasive. But that's a nitpick. But yeah, overall, yeah, I had a good time with this.
I enjoyed it. It was better than I expected.
Yep, I would like for them to try more for other Disney park movies. I think it would be cool. Let's get a Space Mountain movie. I'll watch that. And I do want to see more with Tomorrowland, even though the first one was just I hear they're going to try Haunted Mansion again, which we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm definitely digging these Disney park stuff. And it's like, finally, it's an actual good one, other than Pirates. And then Pirates of the Caribbean, I think they just need to stop.
They need to be done now.
Yeah, they made 5.
They had their good ones, and now they need to stop.
They need to stop. Or if they're going to make
They're pushing
more,
it.
if they're going to make more, just go in a different direction. I need a break from Jack Sparrow. I know that's sacrilege to say because it's Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow, but it's like he's only been great in the first movie, and I would say he was close to being great in Dead Man's Chest, but it's like he's just not as great as he used to be. So I just want them to go in a different direction with it if they're going to do more. But yeah, enjoyed this film. Overall, I will say that Jungle Cruise is pretty good.
I think it's bordering on pretty good. I'll put it at
It's
the
like
upper
a
end of
low,
just
pretty
okay.
good, low, pretty good, high, just
or a
okay.
high, just okay.
Okay, I guess we'll go high, just okay with you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like between those two
It's
for
like
me.
between those.
Because like I did enjoy it, but it's like I don't feel the need to see it again, really.
I'll watch this again.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fantastic movie, but it's like I had a good time with this, and it actually didn't feel like a random thing they put together. I liked all the
There was
characters.
some
and
effort.
Stuff. There was effort. That's all we want, Disney.
Yeah.
Effort.
And originality.
Originality, yes.
Well, this did pull from a lot of famous
It
movies.
did, yeah, it did. But I felt like it worked for this movie for the most part. They didn't have the curse stuff in there, but yeah, that is our thoughts on Jungle Cruise. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Comment below and let us know. I think it'd be like a nice time for families, if they were thinking about watching this. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have more Disney stuff coming your way really, really soon.
Thanks for listening.
Yep, that's all we have for you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.